Good afternoon. It's Sunshine Report. My name is Odwayo Sawyer. The governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has approved new appointments to the Teaching Service Commission Board. Oluwada Isioke was named chairman, with Ajani Oladipupo, Titilayo Fayoriju, Ojolakbe Adeyemi, and Isiaka Usman appointed as full-time members. A statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Ebenezer Adeniyo, said part-time members include the chairman of Osrc and PTA, as well as representatives from the Ministries of Budget and Economic Planning, Education, and Finance. Additionally, the Governor's Senior Special Assistant on Information Technology, Tomide Akere-Bido, has been appointed as the Executive Chairman of the Ondo State Information Technology Agency. Governor Aiyedatiwa, in the statement, encouraged all appointees to utilize their expertise effectively to support the administration's ease agenda. And the Ondo State government has expressed concern over recent vandalism of public infrastructure, specifically the deliberate cutting and theft of cables from a newly installed traffic light in Araromi, Akure metropolis. This act, according to the government, undermines the effective progress of the state. In a statement, the Commissioner for Infrastructure, Lands and Housing, Ayorinde Olawoye, said public infrastructure is essential for improving safety, easing traffic flow, and enhancing residents' quality of life. Hence, the destruction of such facilities harms the well-being of the community. The government urges the public to protect these installations and report any suspicious activities. Security agencies have also been instructed to identify, apprehend, and prosecute those responsible for such destructive behavior. Ondo State is poised for economic growth as the construction of Lagos to Calabar Coastal Highway advances. The road project under the Renewed Hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu is designed to pass through Ondo, among other coastal states in the southern part of the country. Accordingly, construction activities have begun in Ondo State segment of the project that will cover 63 kilometers within the state. Specifically, clearing of the areas marked for the superhighway started from Okepare, Agerige, and Aheri land in Ilaje area. The Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, said the road is witnessing ongoing construction activities at different axes at the same time. The takeoff point of completed 30 kilometers had been commissioned by President Tinubu in June this year as part of activities marking his 2 years in office. The Ondo State government has announced the return of the Mari Festival in Idori, set for December 2025. This comes after years of suspension. The Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Afolabi Adesoji, explained that the festival's revival aligns with the government's vision to reposition tourism as a driver of economic growth, youth empowerment, and cultural revival in Ondo State. The festival will showcase the unique traditions of Idori, promotes the world-famous Idori Hills, and attract visitors, investors, and cultural enthusiasts from across Nigeria and beyond. Beyond celebrating culture, the Commissioner said the festival will create new opportunities for business and investment. The Ondo State government assured stakeholders and the people of Idori that preparations are underway to deliver a vibrant, inclusive, and memorable Mari Festival this December. The Ondo State Radio Vision Corporation, Osrc News Department, has conducted its weekly editorial meeting in the Yoruba language, a deliberate effort to promote indigenous communication and sustain the cultural heritage of the Southwest. The session, which took place at the corporation's newsroom in Akure, brought together editors, reporters, and production staff who discussed story ideas, coverage strategies, and content improvement entirely in Yoruba. Our correspondent, Abidemi Akerotoyi, reports.
Editorial meetings are the heartbeats of every news organization. They provide the platform. Editorial meetings are the heartbeats of every news organization. They provide the platform.
We sincerely apologize for that hiccup. We hope to bring you that report in the course of the bulletin. And moving on, primary education is the foundation of learning, yet enrollment in many public schools continues to decrease. In Ondo State, statistics show worrying gaps despite several government interventions. Ayoluwa Tomiwa Adetunji reports on the challenges of enrollment and the measures being taken to keep children in school.
The classroom is expected to be a place filled with pupils who are eager to learn, but in many public primary schools across Ondo State, enrollment figures tell a different story. According to Ondo State Universal Basic Education Board, about 296,722 pupils are enrolled in 1,277 public primary schools across the state, yet the figure is overshadowed by an estimated 240,000 out-of-school children, a situation authorities find alarming. A head teacher explained that enrollment has been dropping steadily, citing parent preference for private schools, poor infrastructure, and the shortage of teachers in rural areas.
Our pupils is almost 600 plus. When you look at the population, we were just saying the population is increasing, the population is increasing. As the population is increasing, schools are also increasing. So this one is one of the factors. Then two, shortage of teachers, I told you initially, is another factor that is of pupils in public primary schools.
Education stakeholders also point at weak supervision, poverty, and lack of awareness about the value of basic education as reasons for the decline. At the policy level, Subeb says government has rolled out interventions to reverse the trend. These include renovation of over 900 schools with befitting classrooms, toilets, and boreholes, as well as the distribution of over 8,000 learning desks and teaching aids. Governor Loke Ayedatiwa has also recruited 1,100 new teachers across the 18 council areas, while more than 6,000 teachers have been retrained under professional development programs. In addition, the school feeding program currently covers more than 108,000 pupils, encouraging attendance and retention.
For this infrastructure and for the fact that education at this level is completely free, that is why we are now telling parents that instead of going for LACPO, that will give them hypertension, instead of giving themselves unnecessary problem, that these schools are near to them, they should all bring their children to the public primary schools. The essence of basic education is that every child must go to school. On no circumstance should a child be deprived of primary or basic education. That is the law. And if that is the case, parents who think they are paying in those schools or this is that they cannot afford it, we are now telling those parents, you don't have to pay anything. Your child will just come free and he will go home. All you need to do is uniform. And education is a right. It's not a privilege. Every child is entitled to education, and it is supposed to be borne by the state. And this is what we are doing now.
To complement this effort, Subeb management embarked on a sensitization campaign across the state, urging parents to enroll their children in public primary schools. As the new academic session begins, all eyes are on whether these measures will yield the expected result in boosting enrollment.
Meanwhile, Accra South Secretariat witnessed a large turnout of students and their parents who stormed the premises to receive incentives for the new school session. Chairman of the council, Benga Fashua, had earlier announced plans to support indigent students in the local government with free books and school bags to encourage early resumption. Omorio Langwiji reports that no fewer than 1,000 students benefited from the gesture.
A cross-section of the students turned out to receive the educational materials provided by the council management. The scheme targeted a minimum of 1,000 students irrespective of tribe or culture. Students appreciate the kind gesture of the council chairman and pray for his successful tenure.
I am getting this book. To take it to my school, I will start to be writing. I'm very happy about it. I use the book to write in my class and do everything I want to use them.
God will bless him. She will not die. God will guide him.
Councillors, party chairmen at ward level, the Nugget chairman, and the chairman of all primary school head teachers in the council area commended the initiative, describing it as a step that will go a long way in motivating the students in their academic pursuits.
Everyone is happy. Me, I'm even happy because I'm one of the councillors also, and my ward benefited from this.
We have resumed today. Some people came to the school this morning without a single note. And this thing is coincident now for a local government chairman to deem it fit and provide the instructional material, most especially the exercise book, to all the learner, irrespective of the tribe or schools. Both public and private are here now.
We thank God for his life. And the party member and all the political member, all the students in Akure South local government, they are already enjoying the program. So we thank God for him.
As well. So it's beneficial to all. And staff as well, we are citizens of Akure South local government. And some of them also brought their children to enjoy this package. So for us, we're happy about it.
Speaking on the motive behind the initiative, the council chairman, who is also the Algon chairman in Ondo State, Benga Fashua, explained that the initiative is part of the council's efforts to align with Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa's vision for education as outlined in the At Ease agenda.
In conjunction and in support of what has been seen done at the state level, we are replicating it here to see that we ease this return back to school. We understand that most of the times it becomes a burden for parents to gather funds at a time like this. We're using this as a relief, a support mechanism to discourage students who begin to sell on the streets.
He called on well-meaning citizens to support efforts aimed at promoting educational standards across the state. With the distribution of learning materials, Akure South Council hopes to keep more children in school and inspired for the new session. Omoriola Humbeji, Osrc News.
We take the earlier story on language preservation, and the Ondo State Radio Vision Corporation, Osrc News Department, has conducted its weekly editorial meeting in the Yoruba language, a deliberate effort to promote indigenous communication and sustain the cultural heritage of the Southwest. The session, which took place at the corporation's newsroom in Akure, brought together editors, reporters, and production staff who discussed story ideas, coverage strategies, and content improvement entirely in Yoruba. Our correspondent, Abidemi Akinotoye, reports.
Editorial meetings are the heartbeats of every news organization. They provide the platform where journalists brainstorm, set ethical standards, and decide how stories will be reported and presented to the public. This week, the joint editorial meeting of Ondo State Radio Vision Corporation, Osrc TV, and Orange FM was held in the Yoruba language. This development comes against the backdrop of concerns that Yoruba, once a dominant means of communication across the southwest of Nigeria and even parts of West Africa, is gradually losing ground, especially among younger generations who often prefer English in daily interaction. Without deliberate efforts, the language could face extinction within decades. Yet, Yoruba continues to enjoy global recognition. It features in academic curricula in Europe and North America, is taught on language learning platforms, and remains central to cultural festivals in Brazil, Cuba, and the United States, where descendants of the African diaspora keep its traditions alive. By holding its regular editorial conference in Yoruba, maiden edition, Osrc is not only strengthening newsroom's professionalism, but also affirming the value of local language in modern journalism. The Director of News and Current Affairs, Mr. Taiwo Ibitoye, said the initiative is aimed at rescuing endangered languages.
We are saying that it is time for us to value our language so that our identity will not go into extinction. That's why we conducted our editorial meeting in Yoruba language.
The Director of News and Current Affairs of Orange FM, Mrs. Adebimpe Akindele, describes the step as a renewed commitment to broaden Yoruba content across Osrc radio and television.
You go to international conference and you see people speaking their dialect. You only have interpreters who convert or speak to them, to interpret to English language. It's wrong for us to tag native or mother tongue vernacular. We should start speaking Yoruba to our children. Yoruba is the most guilty. Any other tribe in Nigeria, you see them, when they see themselves, they speak Yoruba.
They encouraged staff to write and translate stories in the language and to partner with scholars and cultural advocates. Other journalists said the bold step by Osrc is proof that editorial policies, when creatively applied, can preserve indigenous identity while elevating journalistic standards.
It afforded us the opportunity of actually knowing some things that we didn't even know the Yoruba names for them, and those names too, those Yoruba names that we talking this really Yoruba language, that are not Yoruba language, that are borrowed language into Yoruba, and when you were talking about some of those things came through religion, like Alubarika, like Alubosa, which is onion. Alubosa is not a Yoruba name; it's a borrowed language from from the north.
You just discover that many of us, we can't speak our dialect. It doesn't make me happy. I would love to speak my dialect. Unfortunately, my parents never spoke my dialect to me, so that's the reason. So I try as much as possible to speak Yoruba language to my kids. I don't even speak English to them.
With this initiative, Osrc is setting an example for other media houses that indigenous languages can thrive in contemporary journalism when given pride of place. It is a reminder that preserving culture begins with everyday choices, including the language in which stories are told. Abidemi Akinro-Toye, Osrc News.
In other news, the 32 Artillery Brigade of the Nigerian Army, Owena Cantonment, Akure, will conduct a range classification exercise from Thursday, September 18 to Friday, September 19, 2025. In a statement by the Assistant Director, Army Public Relations, 32 Artillery Brigade, Major Unjoka Irabo, the drill will run daily between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. at the military range, Itaobulu, Akure. He described the exercise as a routine military training designed to sharpen the weapon handling skills of officers and soldiers. The Army urged members of the public not to panic when they observe troop movement or hear gunfire during the exercise. Residents, commuters, and farmers in the Taubulu area have been advised to stay clear of the range for the safety throughout the period of the exercise. The Army also appealed to the public to share the information widely, including in local languages, to ensure maximum awareness and cooperation. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has mourned the passing of Chief Imam of Owo, Sheikh Ahmed Aladeshawe, who died at the age of 91. Aiyedatiwa, who noted that Sheikh Aladeshawe was a respected cleric and a spiritual leader, known for his wisdom and dedication, was committed to serving Allah and guiding the Muslim community, promoting peace, unity, and moral values. The governor condoled with the family, the Muslim Ummah, and the people of Owo, urging them to find comfort in his life of faith, knowledge, and positive impact. Until his death, Sheikh Aladeshawe served as a chairman of the League of